Welcome to our module in Computer System Servicing for Grade 12, entitled Configuring Remote Desktop. This is under Learning Outcome 2, entitled Configure Network Services. This module is for Quarter 2, Week 5, Day 2. Learning Objectives. At the end of the learning period, the student should be able to A. Understand what is remote desktop. B. Know the advantage of remote desktop. And C. Configure remote desktop in Windows Server 2008 R2 to Windows 7. Before we proceed to our topic, let's answer the pretest. Directions. Read each statement carefully. Write T if the statement is correct and F if wrong. Number 1. Remote desktop technology makes it possible to view another computer's desktop on your computer. The answer is true. Number 2. Remote desktop cannot open folders, move files, and even run programs on the remote computer right from your own desktop. The answer is false. 3. Remote desktop technology makes it impossible to view another computer's desktop on your computer. The answer is false. Number 4. The remote access eliminates the need for the physical presence to log into a system. The answer is true. 5. In remote access, the controlling computer's keyboard and mouse inputs are transferred to the controlled computer, where remote desktop software implements the instructions. The answer is true. Now, let us have a recap of our previous lesson relevant to our topic. Directions. Enumerate the following. The question is, in Windows Server 2008 R2, the folders you can redirect are as follows. Give at least 5 samples. The answer is App Data, Desktop, Start Menu, Documents, and Downloads. Next question. 2 main methods of redirecting a folder. The answer is folders to the same place and based on group membership. Next question. 3 redirected folders interface. You can redirect each folders to the following places. The answer is subfolder named after a username, specified folder, default location. Let's proceed to our lesson. What is remote desktop? A remote desktop is a separate program or feature found on most operating systems that allows a user to access an operating computer system's desktop. The access occurs via the internet or through another network in another geographical location and allows users to interact with that system as if they were physically at their own computer. Remote desktop technology makes it possible to view another computer's desktop on your computer. This means you can open folders, move files, and even run programs on the remote computer right from your own desktop. It is widely used in the corporates due to the reason that it provides easy accessibility to a computer. device or network from a remote distance, but it also supports the access to home networks. Simply put, the remote access eliminates the need for the physical presence to log into a system. In a remote desktop setup, the controlling computer receives a copy of the image, updated on a time interval or when a change is detected by the software. From the controlled computer's display, the controlling computer's keyboard and mouse inputs are transferred to the controlled computer, where the remote desktop software implements the instructions. Often, the controlled computer's keyboard and mouse can be disabled to prevent interference with the remote user's actions. Advantages of remote access. Number 1. Easily monitor, control, and maintain devices connected to the network. Number 2. Quickly troubleshoot using the remote access. Number 3. Effortlessly access the files on connected devices, servers, or network. Number 4. Define the access rights to files and folders for different categories of users. Number 5. Supports business growth by providing quicker access to files. Steps to set up Windows Server for remote desktop. Step 1. Go to Properties of my computer. Step 2. Choose Remote Setting. Step 3. Check Allow connections from computers running any version of remote desktop. Then select User. Step 4. Add your user. Step 5. Add another user. Step to set up Windows 7 for remote desktop. Step 1. Go to Properties of my computer. Step 2. Click Remote Setting. Step 3. Check Allows connections from computers running any version of remote desktop. Then select User. Number 4. Add Note. Before configuring remote desktop, turn off Windows Firewall. Step 1. Go to Start menu, then Control Panel. Click System and Security. Select Windows Firewall. Select Windows Firewall. Then select Turn off Windows Firewall. We now proceed to activities. Directions. Fill in the missing word. This is the steps you are going to do before configuring remote desktop. First, turn off your firewall. Number 1. Start menu. The answer is go to Control Panel. Number 2. Click System and Security. Number 3. Select Windows Firewall. Number 4. Click Turn Windows Firewall on or off. Number 5. Then select Turn off Windows Firewall. Let's proceed to wrap up to summarize our lesson. What is the remote desktop features? Remote desktop is a program or an operating system feature that allows a user to connect to a computer in another location. See that computer's desktop and interact with it as if it were a local. A remote desktop server allows users to work from any location, either at home, on the road, or in the office. A network connection is not required. There is no additional hardware needed to link the remote user to the server. All that is needed is access to the internet and a web browser. A remote computer, also known as remote desktop or remote access, is a physical personal computer to which a user does not have physical access, but that can be accessed or interacted with. Remote desktop connection allows you to take full control of a remote computer, including exclusive access to the desktop, documents, or programs, and so on. In valuing, you need to answer these questions. You may write your answer on your digitized worksheet. The question is, we have learned about configuring remote desktop. Briefly summarize the advantages and the features of this program. To make sure how far have you gone through with our lesson, please answer the following questions to post-test. Directions. Fill up the missing words of the following steps. Steps to set up Windows Server for remote desktop. Number 1. Go to, the answer is, Properties of my computer. Number 2. Choose, the answer is, Remote setting. Number 3. Check Allow connections from computers running any version of remote desktop. Number 4. Then select, the answer is User. Number 5. The answer is Add your Azure users. Go to Properties of, the answer is My computer. Number 7. The answer is click Remote setting. Number 8. The answer is check Allow connections from computers running any version of remote desktop. Number 9. Then the answer is select User. And number 10. Add your, the answer is account. If you got all the correct answer, good job. That is the end of our lesson. Thank you and see you again on the next module.